This is an analysis of the city of Belleair, Florida, made by Zaytseva and Snyder. In this presentation, we will cover historical overview of Belleair City, its structure, population, environment, and resources. We will also analyze public policy and the 6 prioritized community needs. The city of Belleair began to develop in the 1890s, when the original Belleair Hotel was built by Henry Plant. It was made with a purpose to have tourists visit the town by his train railroad. Guests enjoy amenities such as swimming, biking, golfing, and tennis. The season guests eventually relocated permanently and moved south of Belleair Hotel, creating the Belleair community. The golf course has now developed into 2 18-hole courses where residents can enjoy golfing year-round. Belleair meets the most of the needs of the community. Belleair has a multi-purpose community center which offers athletic events and after-school programs for kids. The Northwest Park of Belleair provides basketball courts and picnic tables. Belleair is a small community with a quiet neighborhood and a beautiful water views. Belleair Elementary is located inside the city and offers school for kids kindergarten to 5th grade. The population in Belleair keeps growing, and in 2017 the total population was 3,982. Looking at the statistics, City of Belleair does not have enough diversity, and 97.5% of Caucasians call it home. Most people in Belleair have at least a bachelor degree, and 93% of them are employed. According to CDC, cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death among the Belleair community. Lack of resources in Belleair. In 2016, the town of Belleair had 14. Out of those 14, 12 officers were full-time. 2.99 officers per 1,000 residents. The overall crime rate in Belleair is lower compared to the national average, but there are 6.97 daily crime in Belleair. If more resources were available, a lot of the crimes could be preventable. When you compare the police department to other cities, for example, Clearwater Department have approximately 300 officers, and Largo 157 police officers. Belleair definitely have a small number of officers. Also, the Largo Fire has contractual agreement to provide fire suppression and EMS service to the town of Belleair. Even then they provide safety resource for the town and their response time is less than 8.5 seconds a call. This can really impact the city in a case of a big disaster or emergency. Also, Belleair does not have an emergency department. Clearwater has a major hospital, Morgan Plain, which is located about 15 minutes drive from Belleair, and also Belleair Healthcare is located in Clearwater. With such high percentage of population have cardiovascular problems, the increase of nurses in a home care setting has been noted. Morgan Plain Hospital offers education clinics and support groups for those trying to reduce the risk factors of the cardiac-related disease. Support groups allow people to gain knowledge and with this ability to decrease the prevalence of the disease in the community.
Although Belleair does not offer many healthcare facilities, the city nearby, such as Clearwater, does. Morton Plant Hospital is the biggest acute care facility located 10 minutes away from Belleair. Seasons Memory Care Unit is the only ALF offered in Belleair. Bayshore Home Care is located outside of the Belleair city limits in Clearwater. Belleair Behavioral Health, located at Morton Plant Hospital, is one of the largest mental health facilities near Belleair. Healthy People 2020 initiatives has identified three main objectives in the city of Belleair. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the city and has been identified as an objective. Cancer is the second leading cause of death and therefore was identified as the second objective. The third identified objective was older adults because the highest group age in Belleair is 65 to 74 years old. Environmental resources in City of Belleair are mostly adequate for the community. These examples are provided on the slide. The town of Belleair is partnered with the Fire and Rescue Station 43 of Largo and is available to the community 24/7. They provide safety resources for the town, and their response time is less than 8.5 seconds after a call. The city's waste and recycling is picked up throughout the week, keeping the town neat and clean. Environmental problems which were identified are the hazardous waste disposal and the sewage are not in the city limits and are based in the Pinellas County itself, which means that certain pickup times or disposal times may be limited. It has a mayor, a deputy mayor, and 3 commissioners, which deal with the town's budget and better community outcomes. Belleair holds 2 meetings a month where people can address their concerns and provide adequate resolutions. All the information is provided on the Town of Belleair website. We have prioritized 6 community needs, one being high cost of living, followed by the lack of resources, limited education facilities, limited access to public transportation, one major road, and being in the flood zone. The city of Belleair has a very high cost of living, with houses averaging at $450,000. Families who have minimum wage jobs would not be able to afford such high cost of living, and that is one of the downfalls. The second need which was identified was the lack of resources. Belleair does not have any major grocery stores, banks, pharmacies, or restaurants inside its city limits. Most people would have to utilize a car in order to purchase groceries or fill a prescription. The third need which was identified is the limited educational facilities. Belleair has very limited schools, with one being Belleair Elementary and the other the Montessori Academy, which only takes in kids from 1 to 5 years old. Need which was identified as the decreased public transportation access. A lack in public transportation is very apparent because only one route is available, which is Route 65 that goes from Largo to the city of Belleair. Due to the lack of available routes and the pickup times, most people do not use the Pinellas Suncoast Transit in the community. Number 5 need concern is the lack of major roads. The city of Belleair has only one major road which runs through the city of Belleair, passing Belleair Beach and into the city of Largo. This creates road congestions whenever there is a multi-vehicle accident near or in the city. All the roads are single-lane roads, and according to the windshield survey, many roads lack pedestrian crosswalks. Next need is the flood zone and being near the water. Belleair is located in the flood zone AE, which means that during high storms, it has a 20% chance of water rising as high as 17 feet. Because Belleair is located near the water, all the homes are required to have flood insurance. All of this information can be found in the Pinellas County website.